So I'm going to say something very unpopular right now in this climate, and that is that harm reduction with MAT, specifically medically assisted therapies and treatments, has become the disease concept, the false disease concept in new clothes. So what do I mean by that? So think about this. It presupposes, the MAT trap I call it, presupposes that the person that has the problem, the best they're gonna do is damage control, right? The best they can do is be on Suboxone for life. The best they can do is be on methadone for life. The best they can do is patchwork their life through naltrexone or some other drug. And that's the best they're gonna do because, well, they really do have a loss of control. And that's a weird thing. And it also presupposes that regular old abstinence is somehow bad now. That living without a drug of some kind in your system is the unenlightened approach. And I was abstinent for 21 years. Loved it. I loved it. It was one of the most productive times of my life. I didn't do it. Now, forced abstinence, I agree, is miserable and ridiculous and terrible and a charade. But I don't think there's a single person on earth where I say to them, listen, the best you're going to do is be on this drug and, good luck, you're going to struggle. That's the disease in new clothes. That's all that is. It's the same old nonsense because it's acting as if the best you can do is barely get by and that you're always going to crave, you're always going to suffer with the desire to get high. And so we implement damage control. And that's just not the case. Effortless moderation, effortless adjusting your use, and effortless abstinence is entirely possible once you wipe away the loss of control myth, which is what we do in the freedom model. But if you believe the best you're going to do is do damage control with other drugs, well, that's no different than the best you're going to do is live in rehab and sober living and take your drugs, right? With relapse as part of recovery. It's all the same thing. We've gone full circle. There was a time period, probably 10 years ago, where harm reduction wasn't that. It was a stopgap measure if you're in danger. It was a time period where you're adjusting to maybe go in an abstinence direction or a moderation direction, and you felt like you needed a bridge of some kind. It wasn't the solution because you're screwed. It wasn't. And certainly it wasn't a lifelong idea that you need it perpetually because you're never going to not have a loss of control. So this is a hard concept for people, but I covered this 5 years ago in another podcast called The MAT Trap. I saw it coming, and it's here, and people are not doing well because of this lie.